It's Kemp Peterson here again, back at you with another video. So in this video, we're going to talk about is video games a waste of money. So I hear people say that video games are a waste of money and a waste of time. So I'm going to answer this. As somebody that likes to play video games, you know I had to fight back. I had to answer this question. I had to look at myself and just answer. Are video games a waste of money? Well, video games, of course, they do cost money. I mean, they can be a waste of money. I mean, if you buy like 100 video games, I mean, to me, I would say that's a waste of money. Of course, that's my opinion. I believe it will be a waste of money. I buy video games too. But of course, I don't really buy that many video games at one time. Because this year alone, I only bought one video game. And that was Final Fantasy VII, the remake. Because I was a Final Fantasy fan. Final Fantasy VII. The year before that, I would say last year, I bought Mortal Kombat 11. And before that, I bought, what video game did I buy? Uncharted 4. So those are like 3 games I bought since I had the PS4. But there's something that I do. You know how I always highlight these apps that save money? Like I had like Drop. And I use I redeem like a coupon, so I didn't pay the full price for a video game when I bought it. So I did save some money. I mean, sometimes it may be kind of a waste of money if you like buy a video game for like, how much are video games these days? $50, $60. You only play it once, never play it again. I mean, it can actually be a waste of money. I mean, I'm guilty myself. Some games I play, and then once I'm done with it, I don't ever play again. So sometimes, I admit it may kind of be a waste of money, but at the same time, I wouldn't say it actually is because I get the experience of playing. So that's one thing I like about some video games. Even if I only play it one time, I get that experience in playing the game. Because that's what I like doing. I like the experience in playing the game. So some games I just play once and never play them again. But of course, there's some games I had since I was like 5 years old. Like Mario was the first video game I had. Obviously, I was only like 5, so my parents bought those Nintendo games for me when I was a kid, and I used to play them. I played them on and off pretty much my whole childhood. But of course, there were, like I said, there's some games I played once. Once I beat them, I just never played them again. But it's not just Mario. I mean, there's Mortal Kombat games I buy, and I still play them sometimes. I mean, Mortal Kombat 2, I used to play that game a lot since I was like 9 years old, all the way up until I was like, I'll say late teens, early 20s. Yeah, I used to play Mortal Kombat 2 that late in age. Of course, Final Fantasy, that's one game I could play it again and again. Because, I don't know, something about Final Fantasy VII I always liked. I thought about playing it again. Final Fantasy 7. I haven't played since I was a teenager. You're probably wondering. I just said I just bought a Final Fantasy 7 game, but that's a remake. The one I bought now is like the remake. Just like the remake movies, they remake video games now. But I have like the original Final Fantasy 7. And I had that since I was a teenager. I believe it came out in 97, but I didn't actually get the game until like 2000 for Christmas. My mom gave it to me. One of the best birthday presents she gave to me. Because I used to play that a lot. Come home from school playing that. I mean, I don't say so. It's not a waste of money. I enjoy playing the game. Now, is it a waste of time? I mean, it can be if it like takes up too much. It can take up too much of your time. So yes, video games actually can take up a lot of your time. So sometimes it can be a waste of time, but other times I don't think it is. I mean, I see video games as a hobby. That's how I see video games. Just like playing baseball, it's a hobby. So I see video games pretty much the same way. I mean, it's playing baseball a waste of time. I think it is. I don't like baseball. That's my opinion. But some other people out there like, no, it's not a waste of time. I like it. Some people might. Another hobby is playing football. Yeah, I think it's a waste of time. For other people, I think it's boring. It's a waste of time. I know some people are watching it feel like football's not boring. But I kind of find it is. I played it one time when I was a kid. that's the only time I ever played a sport. It was football. When I was like 13. So I did play it once. But other than that, I wasn't really that into sports. I know I'm built like I play sports because I work out in the gym. I did do martial arts. So is martial arts a waste of time? I don't think it is. I definitely don't think martial arts is a waste of time. So I hear people saying video games is a waste of time and a waste of money. I mean, there's some truth to it. Obviously, if you didn't have a job, all you did all day was play video games, you didn't work. You wake up in the morning, you play it from the time you wake up to like the time you go to sleep, and you did that every day, and it became your life. Yes, that would be a waste of time. And I want to know if a grown man was actually doing that all day. I want to know how they're able to even afford to have their own plates if they're doing that. So some games there may be some games I don't really play that much, but when I have friends over, you know what? Some of those games I don't play much, I'll pull out and I'll put into the PlayStation and play with my friend. Sometimes there's something about playing games with other people. It's more fun sometimes. That's pretty much how it is with life. Sometimes it's more fun doing things with other people. So on paper, playing video games might seem like a waste of time, but you get experience, you get enjoyment out of it sometimes. Especially if you have friends to play with. Sometimes you get enjoyment out of it. It's not always just a game. Sometimes it helps you connect with friends. You look back on those days. Inviting your friends over, just playing games, eating food. good memories to look back on. So I would never say that those were a waste of time or money in that situation. But now, how to save on playing video games. There's ways to do it. I mean, there is a video game that you're only going to play once. After you're done playing it, guess what? You could sell. I suggest selling online than going to GameStop. Because guess what? They don't give you money, they just give you store credit. Back in 2005, they would get you extra money. Man, I miss 2005. But now, they just give you store credit. So I say just better off selling on eBay. Especially the game's still kind of new. Like, I still got that Final Fantasy VII game, the remake. I believe I could probably sell that game. And I bet I could get at least $20 off it. Maybe even $30. Because it's still a new game. I imagine that the price is still kind of high on that game. And let's talk about game systems. Yeah, those are pretty expensive. So just see how expensive those game systems are. Sometimes you might think it's a waste of time. But the first game system I bought with my own money was a PS2. And I had that PS2 for I bought it like in 2002. I had it for like 10 years. And before I bought myself a PS3. So I had that for so between a PS2 and a PS3, there was like a 10-year gap. Because that PS3 was expensive. So I just wait back and let price go down some before I finally bought that PS3. By the way, I kept the PS2 for 4 more years after that. Now, between the PS3 and the PS4, there's like a 6-year gap between that. But of course, I didn't pay the full price for the PS4. I believe I used the Ibotta link. Yeah, you know the Ibotta app. So that's what I used for that. Kind of wish I would have used ShopKit that day. I could have got like 900 points with ShopKit. Because I only saved like 1%. But of course, it was still, when you're paying like almost $200 for something, I mean, you still save close to $2. I thought I was saving like 10% off of that. That's why I believe I was saving. I'm not sure what happened, why I didn't get the 10%. It's been a while. It's been like 2 years now. So I got ways where I just don't pay the full price for a lot of things. So Ibotta was one of them. Even though it wasn't at that 10%, I still got 1% off. And what else? Well, yeah, now there's a PS5. So will I be getting the PS5? I mean, I'm gonna wait a little while before I get the PS5. Because right now it's expensive. And a lot of times those first generation consoles don't work as good. Just like the Xbox 360. The first console, it had that red ring of death problem. And I believe the PS3, the first generation had problems. I got later generation. So there are ways to save where you don't buy the full price. There's like special apps. Sometimes things are like on sale, like during Christmas time. Because that $199 was actually pretty cheap anyway for a PS4 when I got it. So I just want to point that out. So I want to say playing video games, spending money on video games and playing them, I wouldn't say it's a waste of time and money. Because it's a hobby. If you enjoy doing it, it's not a waste of time and it's not a waste of money. But it can be a waste of time and money if you don't manage it right. You just keep playing. You buy video games like every single week, then I would say it most likely is a waste of money, because those video games, like I said, they be $50, $60. And now I'm about to run out of time. Should use my tablet. So you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. So yes, sometimes, like I said, it can be a waste of money unless you get yourself Final Fantasy VII. But with that being said, have a blessed day. Bye for now.